Let's do a survey. Who is watching television sometimes? So the world is okay, huh? Everyone is. Is it linear or you go Netflix or who watches Netflix? Okay. Who watches RTL? Who doesn't watch RTL? Oh.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Maybe we should have stopped with the first question. Please go ahead.
Thanks, Marco. Good morning. My name is Andreas from Buchwaldt. I'm a partner at EY-Parthenon, which is the strategy consulting unit of EY. And on my left, we have Wachtel, who is coming actually from RTL, so from the dinosaur side of media. And yeah, maybe Jan, your
I don't know why I agreed to this, to be honest.
Jan, your title is, if I recall correctly, Managing Director, Digital Media and Editorial Content, something in that direction. So what are you a business guy? Are you a content guy? What do you do at RTL?
Well, I think it's difficult to say. So I'm responsible for all digital products within RTL or the RTL Gruppe, and as well for all editorial products. For example, NTV as a news channel. So, am I, a businessman or am I a content man? It's very difficult. I come from the business side, but I think you cannot do this job without having a deep understanding of content. Because this is the center of our attention and is the most important thing. And on the other hand, and I would extend that a little bit, is you need to have a deep knowledge as well of product development and technology, because it's business, it's content, but it is product as well. So it's a combination of everything, and it's connected.
So one of the things, I mean, Marco, in his moderation, he said, we're going to be talking about linear TV. That's not quite right. So one of the things we wanted to talk about is how you are trying to annoy Netflix a little bit. So the product that you have relaunched some time ago is called TV Now. It's a streaming service. And I mean, you've seen how many hands went up here when the question came, who watches Netflix? So why on earth does Germany need another streaming service from you?
Well, it's quite interesting from a market perspective, and what we see in the US, but in other European markets as well, is that people do have more than one subscription. So I think in the US it's around 3 subscriptions, so it's not a winner-takes-it-all market. And when you're referring to Netflix, Amazon, Apple, Disney is entering the market as well, you concentrate, or you're talking about global products, which means is they produce for a global audience content and adapt some of them, through originals in the different countries. And we have a completely other perspective. So we think that local content actually is our strength, and we're going to be a very, very local product. So in the end, and we think that's one of the end games, and hopefully this is going to be the case, is that you will have global products, but people do like local content as well. They like local actors, they like local stories. So, there's space for more than just one global or 2 global products. So we are not a substitute product, we are a complementary product, and you don't find actually on Netflix what you will find on our service.
So more specifically, I think Netflix spent something like 15 billion in 2019 on content. Yeah. What is the type of content that your subscribers want, and what is really driving your initial growth? Is it new sort of own content produced specifically for that audience, or is the old TV content actually worth anything?
Well, that's interesting. I think you said 15 billion. Huh?
Yeah.
So actually, what the Mediengruppe RTL is spending in Germany, just to get a feeling of what I mean for content in a year, is 1 billion. So it's 1 billion in local content. And I think it's so difficult, and it's a mistake as well, to differentiate in VOD content and television content, because I think there's good content for a certain target group, and there are bad contents. So actually the question is, and that you were asking there as well, do you have a target group for TV content in the VOD world as well? And it's definitely the case. If I have a look how many people, for example, watch Gute Zeiten, Schlechte Zeiten, good times, bad times, this is a huge brand in Germany. It has huge frequency, and you get a lot of subscribers through showing that as a pre-TV format, for example. So it's the old, but very, very good TV content as well that is driving subscription and usage as well. And you see that if you have a look at Netflix or at other services. I mean, like Friends is TV content as well, and it's one of the biggest driver of video views as well in global products. So TV content or content in general is working if it's good content.
Okay, so you're all set on content. What about technology? I mean, you have to have a great product out there working across all these platforms. You're working largely with that product in a single market. Is that something that it gives you a headache, or do you think you can play that sort of tech game alongside the content game credibly with your footprint?
Well, what I think, what is important is Mediengruppe RTL is a part of RTL Group, and RTL Group is a part of Bertelsmann. So, in the question, are we a little small broadcaster in Germany and have nothing to do and do not have the resources in order to invest in technology, I would deny that. So we are not only having VOD services in Germany, we have them in the Netherlands, in France, in Croatia. So actually, with regards to that group effort, and for us it's a very, very important strategic product actually, we will join forces in the question, how do we develop technology for VOD. So, and let me add one more point. I think the biggest challenge for all media products is to match the right content with the individual. And it doesn't matter if it's music, it doesn't matter whether it's VOD content, but the structure will always be the same. So, and in Bertelsmann we have books, we have BMG as a music label, we have G&J as a publisher. So we all have the same challenge, and we will actually invest heavily in technology to try to solve that.
So you said you're joining forces across Bertelsmann. Will you also join forces at some stage with Join, which is the new sort of service coming out from Unterföhring, which is where the ProSieben Group, the other big private broadcasting group in Germany, will launch sometime down the road? Everybody's asking, is it really a smart move to have two of these platforms as a local player in one market?
Well, I think I couldn't tell you that right now. And we entered the market with two different hypotheses. So actually, we have the hypothesis that we concentrate very, very much on content and have a content product. And I think Join, as far as I've seen, because I've just read things about Join for the last 1.5 years, it's an aggregation product. So and there are two different hypotheses, and we will see actually what kind of hypotheses will prove. So for us, it's not a consolidation. It's not a consolidation market right now and in the moment, because it's too young and it's growing fast, and we think that we should actually make market share now, and not talking about consolidation and how can we do that and joint venture approaches. But we will see what is going to be the successful idea, and maybe there's a possibility that later on we're going to join forces.
Okay, I think we're running out of time. One more. I think NOAH loves numbers. Anything you can share on numbers that are not on the press now? How many subscribers do you have? How many will you have in 1 or 2 years?
But we release one number, and that's we have 1.2 million subscribers in the Netherlands and in Germany.
So I assume most are not in the Netherlands, but thank you
This is
very
your
much.
assumption. Thank you.
And thank you for listening and coming to the session.